Today we're going to be talking about subtracting decimals. Subtracting decimals, just like when you're adding decimals, is not much different than actual adding or subtracting. It's just making sure that your place values are lined up. So just like when you're adding decimals, you need to make sure the decimal is under the decimal, the ones place is under the ones place, the tenths place is under the tenths place, so that your place values are lined up. And if you put the decimals right underneath each other, it will help you do that. The other thing that we need to make sure that we pay attention to when we're subtracting is the fact that when you're subtracting, the first number, okay, in the problem has to go on top. You can't switch the order of the numbers like you do when you're adding. When you're adding, you can flip-flop numbers. When you're multiplying, you can flip-flop numbers. When you're subtracting, you cannot. So this 3.7 or 3 and 7/10 looks like a smaller number because it has less digits in it, but it does have a greater value than this number because this number has a 1 in the ones place and this number has a 3 in the ones place. So if we were to line them up, ones underneath ones, decimal underneath decimal, tenths underneath tenths, hundredths, thousandths, okay? And we were to compare them, the 3 is definitely greater than the 1. So now you have this funky thing going on here, okay? This is where it's going to be really important to know that if you have no hundredths and no thousandths, it's the same thing as having 0 hundredths and 0 thousandths, okay? So putting in those zeros in this case is going to be really important because, as you know from regular subtraction, you can't take 3 away from nothing, so you're going to have to borrow. And if your zeros aren't there, you may forget to borrow, and then that's going to be a problem, okay? So now that we have our zeros filled in, we can subtract. All right, we've got, I should go on this side. We've got 0 minus 3, we can't do that. We have to borrow. Ugh, another 0, there's nothing there. So I have to move over one more place. This becomes a 6. Now this can become a 10, okay? Now I can borrow from that 10, it becomes a 9. This becomes a 10, okay? So the same techniques that you've used for subtraction since like first or second grade when you first learned about it, okay? So 10 minus 3, now I can do that because in order to subtract, I remember I have to take away from a bigger number. So if the number on top is not bigger, I have to borrow. So 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 8 is 1. 6 minus 9, oh, can't do that. I gotta go over here. I'm gonna make that a 16. 16 minus 9 is 7. The decimal goes straight down between the tenths and the ones place. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So that means that 3 and 7/10 minus 1 and 983 thousandths is 1 and 717 thousandths. Okay? So if you had something like this, if you had 2 and 89 hundredths minus 42 hundredths, first number on top, second number below, line up your decimals, line up your ones place, line up your tenths place, line up your hundredths place. This is nice and easy because they all line up perfectly. We don't have to fill anything in with zeros. And we also don't have to borrow conveniently enough, because 9 is bigger than 2. So 9 minus 2, 7. 8 minus 4 is 4. Bring the decimal straight down. 2 minus 0 is 2. Okay, so that was an easy one. What we need to remember is when, like let's add an extra digit to here. Let's make it 427 thousandths, which is still smaller than this number because this has a 0 in the ones place and this has a 2 in the ones place. So if we do it this way, what we need to make sure we remember, it's all still lined up, and the 7 goes out here by itself, okay, because it's in the thousandths place.
All 7th graders.
So what you need to make sure that you do is when you have a blank space like this, is that you put a 0 in there because you have to remember that you can't subtract from nothing. So if you put a 0 in there, then that should remind you that you have to borrow. So you're going to have to go over here before you can subtract. You're going to have to borrow from the 9, make that an 8, make this a 10. 10 minus 7 is 3, 8 minus 2 is 6, 8 minus 4 is 4, and 2 minus 0 is 2. So you get 2 and 463 thousandths.